Behind the gate and past the white fence, down the winding lane through the maple and linden trees, there is a country manor. Walk through the wide front door and step back in time to an era when elegance was the order of the day and royalty danced across these very parquet floors. This is the Taylor Estate, a spectacularly beautiful and storied home surrounded by 122 acres, one of the largest remaining parcels of private open land in the Denver area. The English manor-style house was designed by noted Denver architect Burnham Hoyt, a visionary acclaimed for his work on the Red Rocks Amphitheater and the north wing of the Central Denver Public Library. Built in 1932, the home sits atop the highest point on the property, where the views of Mount Evans and the Front Range are majestic. Formal gardens, manicured lawns, lush alfalfa meadows, and native grasslands. The land falls away from the house in a gentle slope through the meadows to the sandy shore of an exclusive boating lake. With mountain views and lakefront beach, the Taylor Estate has that rare combination that few properties can offer: luxury and open land, a combination that is rarer still in Metro Denver. The Taylor Estate is in the city of Lakewood in Jefferson County, just 20 minutes southwest of downtown Denver. The property encompasses 122.3 acres east of Wadsworth Boulevard and north of Yale Avenue. Ward Reservoir 1, known locally as Ward Lake, borders the property on the east. Ski resorts in Vail, Beaver Creek, and Breckenridge are less than 2 hours away via C-470 and Interstate 70. Authentically elegant, this showplace residence is imbued with the style and impeccable tastes of its former owners, Denver oilman Vernon Moose Taylor Jr. and his extraordinary wife, Anne Bonfoy Taylor. Vernon, who was also one of the original investors in Vail, and Anne, a skiwear designer and a fashion icon, whose photograph graced dozens of magazine covers, bought the estate in 1951 and lived here for the rest of their lives. Anne was an acclaimed equestrian, and in her younger days qualified for the 1940 Olympic ski team, flew planes, and trained pilots during World War II. Vernon, who served on many corporate boards, was a handsome former college football star and World War II aviator. At their estate, the Taylors hosted lavish parties for royalty and dignitaries, Prince Philip, Princess Anne, and Henry Kissinger among them. A Society columnist once wrote that Princess Anne would be right at home when she visited the Taylor Estate. And in fact, the house is very much an English-style country manor with elaborate public salons and cozy private spaces. In all, there are 26 rooms in 14,000 finished square feet. The grand foyer welcomes guests who in winter can warm themselves before a crackling fire. Long halls, a Burnham Hoyt trademark, connect the public and private rooms. The antique paneling in the library was imported from an English home and waxed every year, floor to ceiling. There are 11 working fireplaces, which were lit every day from September to April when the Taylors were home. The house has a large formal dining room for banquets and parties, and a more intimate family dining room where the Taylor sons memorize the names of English kings and American presidents painted on the walls. The expansive master suite occupies its own wing and includes his and her bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, walk-in closets, a private sitting room, and a study. In all, there are 11 bedrooms and 9 baths. The kitchen has commercial-grade appliances, long counters for plating meals, vast cabinetry for storing china, glass, and silverware, a larder, an eating area for staff, and a rare German silver sink. The garden room, which opens onto the terrace, has space for cutting and arranging flowers gathered from the perennial borders. Jane Silverstein Reese, one of the foremost female landscape architects of the time, designed the gardens with stone walls, terraces, perennial borders, and lovely shade trees. The tennis courts and oval and ground pool have been beautifully maintained. Like most large estates, the Taylor property has cottages for household and ground staff. Shimmering Ward Lake beckons for an afternoon of water skiing or sailing. The Taylor estate extends to the lake and includes 1,110 feet of shoreline with a private sand beach, charming lake cottage, boat dock, and boating rights, a privilege accorded only to those who own property on the lake. Behind the manor house, surrounded by leafy trees, there is also a private pond, perfect for fishing. The Taylor estate has extraordinary water rights, valued at nearly $2 million. These rights include water from 2 local reservoirs and 2 deep wells on the property. Large swaths of mature maples and evergreens run through the property, much of which remains ruggedly beautiful with tall native grasses and wide open spaces. Alfalfa meadows grow lush and green and produce ample hay for horses or sale. The property is zoned for 1 acre with agricultural status. Vernon and Ann Taylor love to ride their horses through the fields, and no wonder. With its wide open fields, stables, and dressage ring, the estate is ideal for equestrians. As the sun slips behind the mountains, stillness settles over the meadow and the manor. Timeless elegance and natural beauty entwine here at the Taylor Estate.